was, though, there was objection to the size of the home, how high it would sit, what it would appear from these folks' homes that were looking out at this property. They'd be looking at a wall that would be, I think they characterized it as fairly massive, you know, not, as they look out their picture window, they wouldn't see something that they could see, they would just see a wall. And I think that was, from what I could hear, that was the objection, just the size of the home and what it would present to the neighbors.
What did they used to see
I don't know.
before the flood?
I saw a
Yes,
brick house.
it was a two-story
It was a
house.
two-story
before,
house.
But it was
This is
joggy. It was
This
a
is one
jogged up
story,
house.
right?
But it would be, I mean, we raise it, so it's 9-foot sidewalls on it, so from front to rear, you're probably looking at 9 feet. And the gable ends are, they'd probably be like 17 feet. So it's, I mean, it's way shorter than a two-story, but it's 17 feet, so that's what it would.
And the gable would be facing the home to the north?
We would, the way we're doing it, we'd have gable
Mhm.
both ends,
Yep.
and then a smaller one for the garages in the front.
Okay. And Kyle, I don't want to put you on the spot, you were here, I don't know if you were participating in the discussion, I would assume. Do you want to share with them what your objections?
My name's Kyle Colbinson. I'm speaking on behalf of my mother. My mother's in the nursing home right now. As a family, my brother, Gary Colbinson, is POA, power of attorney for my mother. And we feel that putting a structure this big next to my mother's house is going to devalue her house. When you were saying it was a two-story structure, that is correct, but next to my mother's lot line to the north was a small garage, which was not two-story, and the roof came down like this. So my mother's house got plenty of ventilation and plenty of sunlight. With this structure going in, we're going to have a gable wall going straight up for 17, 18, whatever, how many feet it's going to be. We're going to lose all our airflow, we're going to lose all our sunlight in the house, okay? I guess my point is that the property was purchased knowing the footprint that you could build on. And now we're asking for a variance to put a bigger building on this footprint. And we're going to have to take the money from my mother's house and pay the nursing home. So that's our concern, is we need to sell that house for market value, not something that's worth less because of the joint property next door to it. So that is our concern. That is our concern. We had a decent view to the south just because of the single-story garage and the sloping roof. Yes, Robert?
I was wondering, you say a single-story view to the south, wouldn't that be to the west if the garage was on the north side?
Yeah, to the north of the two-story. Mark was saying that it was a two-story house. It was on the south part of the property,
yeah.
but on the north part of the property, it was a single-story garage.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a 17-foot wall right there. We had like I don't know, 7, 8 foot, 9 foot, whatever wall, but then the roof came down like this.
Yeah.
So now the new property is actually going to be just a solid wall going all the way up. So we're going to lose that entire sunlight, the ventilation. It's going to be just a massive wall of vinyl next to my mother's house. And that's what we're concerned about. If we could get a duplex in there, have at it, you know, no problem. I think Rushford needs housing like that. But it's just, we're trying to fit a quart into a pint jar. And it's just not appropriate at that site.
Kathy, the normal, so that the board has council has a feel for this, the normal variant or the normal size of side yard on the north side of this house would be 10 feet. So where you see the 6, just so you can have a feel for how much is being encroached upon. Normally that would be 10. It appears from this drawing to be a 6. And in the back, normally we would have 25.
Yeah, on that side, there's a 1-foot overhang too, so there's really only 5 feet there.
Okay, so it's 5 feet from the overhang, 6 feet from the base.
Yeah,
Okay. And in the back, or in the west side, it would have been 25, and now that's 14, roughly.
it's supposed to be 30,
30 on 30 in the back.
30 in the back.
And then the street side, that lines up with the adjoining property?
What was that, on the street side? In
On
front?
the,
Yeah.
the south side of your home? The south end, does that line up with the house to the,
Park
No.
Street? Are we talking Park
What
Street?
he's proposing, if you're talking about parks, cause I live on Park,
okay?
and,
You're the next house down?
and when I stand at the very corner of my house, he's out about 12 feet.
Okay, so your view would be blocked in effect, your home
Yes,
sits
very much
deeper.
so. This would entirely change what was there before. There used to be a lot of grass around the house, and there were kids would all play in the yard.
So your home, I would be safe to say that it must be close to the 25-foot setback that normally would be there.
And that's-
And you're asking for only a 14-foot setback, which would
Right,
give us
that's-
about 11-foot difference, which is what you observed when you
Probably,
saw
Probably
where his corner was.
Because the one reason, we can't fall back into the old footprint though, right? I mean, that was the people with the flood, because when they had the house there before, the garage there before, they were right to the property
Sure.
line. So that's why I say, that's where we are pushed out further than normal,
Yep.
trying to do. But I guess literally, in the end result, if it is denied, what is it worth nothing? I mean, literally, I guess, because in our values, because they value the property at $37,000, I can't put a garage on it. So,
Well, this building is way too big for what the size lot. I don't wanna look at 30 years looking at that.
Does everyone have a feel for the size of the lot and where you're at then, so you know what you're at?
I mean, it is a tough lot, and I understand where they're coming from too. It's just, everybody back then, they built their houses right to the back of the property lines. You know, so everything, it seems, you know,
No, that's too bad.
it's weird.
She's on Park Street. Park Street's right to your right.
Yes. I was just gonna say, on the back for all the property lines, pretty much, nobody has 30 feet. I mean, you never possibly, if you had to get 30, and you had to have 25, there's only 75 feet deep, you know, there's.
But this is taking a whole lot.
Oh, yeah,
You're
I
taking a
understand.
whole lot.
I guess I wanna just know what you guys will allow in the long term.
For that structure.
A single family home could fit in there with one, but you still would need one variance. You're always gonna need a variance
for the
back there,
backyard.
yeah.
Please.
I don't have a problem with a single residential spot there. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think there needs to be a house there. It's just this structure is too massive. I believe it's 80 feet long, if I remember right. It's 80 feet long. I don't know of too many homes that are 80 feet long, you know. So, I mean, we don't have a problem with a single resident there. I mean, it would be nice to see a house there. It
Well,
would.
it's not a 80-foot, it's twin, so.
Yeah, it's a twin, but it's gonna be 80 feet total length, yeah, right?
I got one question for Colvin on the side there,
Go ahead.
because it'd be 9-foot sidewall, so even if we went to a single family home, we'd still do 9-foot sidewall, so you're still looking at the 17 feet from that side. So how far would you wanna pull off from Colvin's side?
Again, I don't have a problem with that, they can do whatever they want, 10 feet off the lot line, right? But if it's gonna be a single residential house, I would think you'd have that centered and not squeeze that side, but again, I'm just assuming, I don't know what's going on there. So, the building is just too big for the size of the lot.
I'd like to see another proposal, a single family proposal.
And again, we are going to sell my mother's house this year. I guess my personal opinion is I believe that it would devalue her house. But that's up to the board's judgment.